introduced me to this. And she found out about it one night at the midnight watching the television. She said, just go down and listen to what he's got to say. He told us there were other visits. In the same story, he told me, this is what impressed me the most. That, and then he got a sense of humor because he said he went down to Jessup and got some of these to show the nerves going through the atlas and the axis. Yeah, thank you. What I was so impressed is to understand how the good Lord made each of us. And when you tip or fall, that might be a permanent situation. And when I went for my first experience, I had no complaints. And I told him at the time that here I am, 80 years of age, and if I've got a hip in my get along or a problem in my top, just like you do to a 2-year-old child, when he falls off the tricycle, Mommy, I hurt. And Mommy says, come on over, Mommy, fix it. Mommy, give you a kiss, and it'll be better. And then say, oh, see the bunny rabbit over there? Distraction. And that's what I've done all of my life. Is if I had a pain or a hitch in my get along, I fell out of a tree when I was 8. And I was 43 before I realized that can have permanent problems for you. But I would always read a book when you were hurting. Never admit that you've got a pain. You know it's there, but don't admit it. Just go on with life. Don't go to a chiropractor. Don't go to a medical doctor. Don't use a lead. Don't do anything because you can distract yourself and you won't have pain. Or at worst, just go to bed and take a nap and you can get better. Or jump in the bathtub and get your muscles also nice and loose that you're better. Don't complain if you've got a problem. So that's the way I spent all my time until I was 43. My husband and I went to Texas on a trip, and we both believed that a day's drive was 500 miles. Well, we both loved to square dance, and when we go to a square dance, I was fine walking through, looking at the tourist attractions. I was fine. When I was vertical, I was fine. But sitting hunched over in the car while you're driving and slumping down, that hurt like thunder. And I thought, I cannot be riding in this automobile and complaining about my back to a husband that is very willing to take me on vacation. And I thought, I'll be a good girl because I can have stand-up time while we're looking at things. And so I could be sort of good. And we got back home after the 3 days of 500 miles. And you're thinking, if we ever get home, I'm going to tell him. So we got home, and I said, Bob, I have something very serious to tell you. I am never going on a vacation with you again. What? We hadn't even quarreled. So why am I being so firm? I explained to him then what I just told you. And he said, did you ever think of putting a pillow behind your back? No. I had not thought of that. Well, then I started putting the pillow behind my back, and there was no pain because I was straight up and down. These are the things I have not told you guys. It's just distraction always works because I was generally on my feet or walking or doing things. And then my husband said, why don't you go down to Waterloo and get an x-ray taken? And there I found that in my spine, one, because of that fall when I was 8 years old, and it took me to the age of 43, when one disc had so deteriorated that it was chalk. And so if you see that disc number B here, that was the disc that was all chalk. And whenever C, when I was leaned over, C touched B, it was getting a nerve back to nerves again. Or when A was messed over, anytime A or C touched B, I was in terrible, terrible pain. But I didn't know that. I'm just a housewife. And I just knew I could swear it. I was straight up and down. But it was the bending that was terrible. And so when I came down to Dr. Troyer, because of our just so impressed me. If you get your head on straight, you will not have any problems because your Creator will take those little nerves and have them fix anything that's wrong within your body. That really impressed me. And to me, that's as Dr. Troyer explains it, that's the secret of the whole thing. Get your head on straight, and you're not going to have any problems. And I've been told before, you have your head on straight. Well, no, I fell out of a tree when I was 8. But I can't say enough for the concept. And when we go in, for all of you who are new, you put down, what is your complaint? I put down, I have no complaint. Because I had this little system of being good all the time. But then you just don't advertise varicose veins. By the way, the nerves are taking care of the varicose veins. And walking straight, I didn't tell Dr. Troyer, well, what's 2 inches when I go in to purchase a coat or a dress or a blouse. I would go into the mirror and look. Well, I did not care for the silhouette that I saw looking straight. So I thought, well, I wonder how big can I get? Maybe I'll turn sideways. That ought to help. And so I would turn sideways, and what would I see? But I'm in front of myself about 2 inches. Well, that's just the little old lady, and, you know, I've been 40 and 50 and 60 and 70, and even when I went to see Dr. Troyer, I was still putting my back up so that my clothing would feel the way the designer wanted it to be. Today, I walk this way all the time. My shoulders are on top of my pelvis, and I don't have to think. And that's pretty nice. I have 3 things, the varicose veins and standing up straight. Oh, where I fell out of the tree. That's all taken care of. And I've only been that girl for, about 10 times. And that stick out, where it made the bones go outward, I could put my finger back in there, and I think I could poke in there 1/2 inch. It was sticking out too much. And it was giving less and less pain because, you know, I've always used this diversionary tactic, and I haven't been needing to do that in these last 10 times. And I said, it's so good now that when I put my finger back there, where it used to stick out 1/2 inch, maybe that's stretching it maybe 1/4 of an inch, and I can't feel 1/8 of an inch. And I said to Dr. Troyer, because I'm not an upper cervical or I'm not a chiropractor, do the nerves keep the muscles stronger? Absolutely, that's what they're there for. I said, I sure got some strong muscles there, because I have no pain. And if I put my finger back there now, I try to think, where did I used to have pain? And it's like a shadow. Maybe back in there is where it used to be. It takes imagination. So I'm just a happy camper.